when I'm painting a portrait, what you see, the final image, you are seeing little parts of each one of my mistakes. You're seeing, the process of building something up, the making of it. And my aim in my life and my work is to offer a transparency. I think that honesty is one of the reasons we've been put on this earth, to figure out how to not lie about anything, not even on your taxes. And with this process of layering images, I kind of want what I did to get there to be part of the whole and clearly visible. When I teach portrait painting, one of the biggest things is freeing people up from their paralysis, their fear that keeps them kind of like stopped. And that's part of where the layering comes in, where your mess ups, your screw ups, like, that's your foundation to stand on. Like, success isn't doing it right the first time. Success is falling down and getting back up, and falling down and getting back up, and falling down and getting back up. And so somehow this layering, it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, I was layering it before I knew why I was layering, but because I'm teaching, I can talk about how the layering really gives a rich quality that not only has a life-giving feeling in the image, but also becomes a tool with which to live our lives with.
I had just become the gallery manager here at the time, so I was looking for artists to fill up the year, and the year was completely empty at that point. And so I actually met a lot of fantastic artists through the Tree Foundation auction, Rachel being one of them. So I decided to give her a solo show and approached her about it. And so we settled on September, so she had 7 months to produce the show, in which while this work behind me was produced just for this space, which made it kind of a unique show, in the sense that it flows well with the space. It looks good in here. It's designed for this space, which kind of really stands out when you walk in, as opposed to a bunch of artwork someone had in their house and just brings in, which a lot of this is just that kind of artwork that was sitting around her house and she'd already been working on. But a good majority of these larger pieces are designed just for this space, so that was very cool.
The main wall were all new pieces except for the very last cloud piece. And having this I am in the middle, and then on either side I also flipped an image. So it was the sunset landscapes. It's actually from my window when I lived in the dorm at High Mowing, out over Fryfield and seeing towards Mount Monadnock. And in this photo, there's a really clear cross that the trees are making with the sunset behind. Not at all manipulated, that's my photo. And so I flipped the images so you actually have these two crosses on either side of this triptych. The one with the halos and shit. And then the next two pieces was a really weird experience for me because it's a full nude, and one of them is actually a photographed poster, life-size photograph of me that I painted a little bit on, and the other one is a painting, the mirror image of it. And so there was all these layers of looking at myself, being honest about what I'm seeing, noticing my head trips and the awkwardness of painting yourself naked, and that's going to ultimately be in front of everyone, but also my attempt with using my own image is always about trying to see more archetypes, and I think it'll make a lot more sense when I'm dead, so I'm actually not part of the picture when people are looking at my work. I think they'll see it a little bit more clearly.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite because, you know, every piece is so unique in its own way. But the one that stands out to me is the piece Searching for the Godhead. And I just felt it's just the lighting in the piece and the power of the strokes and the symmetry of it just really stood out to me and resonated to me in some way. I don't know why I like it, but just compositionally, it really takes my breath away in a way. It's a really powerful piece, you know. It's kind of goddess type figure and lights surrounding her and all these amazing brush strokes. I mean, one of the things I really like about Rachel's work is even when she's doing portraiture, she's not trying to, you know, make it so precise, but it is precise in the sense that she can capture the character of the person, but she still allows her brushstrokes to be very energetic and flowing. It doesn't feel precise, but it is.
Really, the one piece that allows a lot more of my philosophy into the equation of the show, and hence is my favorite piece in some ways, and it's also, it pushed me, is I painted my friend Todd. And part of how the painting evolved is because of the richness of our relationship. We have become really good friends who are really good at talking to each other. And so he's kind of shown me, opened his world to me in a way that has allowed me to see his journey in becoming the man he wants to be. And so when I started painting him, partly I was just totally using him. I wanted to paint somebody, I needed someone I connected to and who looks okay. So in some ways, like, he was my muse, but also my friend, and it allowed me to just use him like this, which is was such a gift. And because of the exquisite nature of how he's able to show me how he's growing, I brought that to my painting. And so the painting is a triptych, and you have in the middle Todd being totally goofy, like he was like doing the chicken or something, or like he kind of looks like a hummingbird nearly. I nearly called the piece Hummingbird because he's flapping his elbows and they blur, but it's really him stepping forward, and just how when we're being funny or when we're being silly, we actually are so here in the moment. We're not putting on the guise of something else. We're not head tripping. We're not imagining we're somewhere else. You know, you're right there. And so the painting is a triptych. On either side of that main goofiness of Todd pretending like he's a bird or something, there is one photo that I painted mirrored to one another. So it's based on the same image. They're just, and on the right hand side, which has to do with, you know, action and how you are in the world or how you've been in the world. For me, that represented the past. And so in the painting, you know, you don't see it as clearly as a center figure on either side. And on the left side, the imagery is about the future and how all of us have this struggle of like assessing and needing to make amends with our past and needing to work with it, but we can be out of balance and be like obsessive thinking about the past all the time, and we skew our vision of the past, but that we carry our memories and our events and of our lives into who we are right now, you know. But if you get too trapped, you're not really present. And the same with the future, where we imagine how we're going to be, and we imagine, you know, how our life is going to shape. But it's missing. You can't see it all the way. And God knows we can get really distracted when we're, oh, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna be, this is what I want to wear, this is what, you know, we're always putting in the future. We're not in the present moment. And so this triptych called Becoming is really about stepping into the I am. And this I am is one of the, how I understand it in my world, is that's the Christ impulse. That's the uprightness in human beings. It's that moment where we are fully uniting the powers of the earth and the ideas of the spirit. So that really is the piece for me that speaks to the whole show.